G'day, Brett Thompson here. How you going? Welcome to video number 2. Going to give you a quick recap on video number 1. Basically, we talked about how we've been running the most popular marketing seminar series in our industry for the last 6 years running, and we stopped it at the pinnacle point of its success. And here's why: because the seminar was called the 7-Hour Sales that are hugely popular. We didn't have to do any marketing; we just announced it, and it filled up because people were coming to me in Australia to write those long form sales letters, and you know that you see then happily pay me 25k because they would get results and make money. But we knew not everyone could afford that, so we took a room full of people, and I developed a system where I could teach anyone to write a long form sales letter in 7 hours or less, and that's what we did at these workshops, and it was so popular, right? But we stopped it because marketing has evolved these days. Writing a sales letter doesn't guarantee success. You have to understand marketing funnels, a multi-step marketing system. But we also know that business owners, there's so many talented business owners, and Lenika and I were so passionate to help business owners who just to let them stay focused on their lane and give them some simple frameworks and processes and templates so they can get their marketing modernized without being overwhelmed, right? Because there's so much information out there. So that's why the new event we're coming after 3 years is called the 7-Hour Sales Machine, where we're helping you implement under our guidance with all our templates how you can actually bolt on a profitable and effective marketing machine in live, and it's done. So no filling up notepads full of good notes and intentions. We get it done on the day, so it's done and dusted, right? So we also talked about the pain points. There's so many people suffering from overwhelm, and then through that they have lack of confidence. They don't know if they can do it or not, and it's just so hard to keep up with all the marketing trends, right? So that's why our vision is to find 100 influencers in Australia and overseas and help them build an audience of 10,000 people, a profitable audience, and then indirectly will impact over 1 million people by 2020. And that's what drives us, gets out of bed every morning. So so in this video, this is really important because I want to share a couple of concepts with you. But number one, I want to give you hope that yes, you can do it, even if you don't. You think you don't have a marketing bone in your body, or you don't like copywriting or writing emails and all that kind of stuff that might overwhelm you and make your head spin. I want to give you hope that it's possible. And I also want to remind you of a law that you may or may not already know about. It's called the Parkinson Law. It's to do with productivity. You see, Parkinson's Law is where work will expand to fill the available time you give it for completion. What I mean by that is, if you give yourself 2 weeks to complete a 2-hour task, right, that task will become more demanding, will create more pressure and to fill that 2 weeks, right? Now the work itself might not change, but the anxiety around it and the friction and the constraints and all the and the pressure and the thinking around it, you'll occupy that 2 weeks. And more times than not, you'll probably leave it to the last point and cram it anyway. Whereas you could save yourself by allocating the right amount of time to a task. You can buy back so much more time, and in a lot of cases you can do a better quality work. Now we take that philosophy into our events. That's why we create implementation at workshops. So instead of walking away from a workshop where you have notepads full of good notes and insights and good intentions, you actually walk away with things done and dusted, ready to move on, right? So the second thing I want to talk to you about, and that's what we're going to be doing at the 7-Hour Sales Machine. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is to give you some hope, right? Because a lot of people watching this, they may or may not know me or my story. And even though right now in Australia I'm regarded as one of the highest paid, most in-demand copywriters in the country, a little less than 10 years ago, I didn't even know what a copywriter was. I didn't have a marketing bone in my body. So how could I, and I went from a struggling business owner that went from 16K to over 200K in 12 months. Now, how could that be possible? So I'm going to tell you the story to give you hope that is possible for anyone with the right skills and the right mindset. To start, I went, ironically, I went all through school and failed English. Like I was in the bottom level English class all the way through school. I pretty much can safely say I hardly read a book all through school. The only books I read was Mad magazines and a couple of Choose Your Own Adventures. It was just school was just a big social event for me. I remember celebrating in grade 12 when I thought, no one's ever going to have to ask me to read another book for the rest of my life, right? And then I spent the next 10 years becoming a full-time investor. So I invested 90% of my income in my social life, right? But then that didn't really help with my business. I mean, I didn't really have a business acumen at all. But what happened is I was blessed with identical twin boys, and that completely changed my life. It gave me purpose, and I had a desire to become more intelligent and to get knowledgeable. So I went into one of my mates' rooms. We lived in a kind of shared house of eight of us. And he had some books in his room, and I picked out one book. It was called Awaken the Giant Within. I read that. It was all about how you can create your own destiny. And I thought, wow, no one's ever told me that before, right? So I became a personal development junkie. And that's when I came up with my first business idea. I decided to, after going to countless seminars, I decided to run workshops where I could teach kids self-esteem, confidence, communication skills, and life skills, right? Everyone thought it was a fantastic idea. I handed in my resignation after 15 years and jumped in my first business. And I learned very quickly, you can have a great idea over here, but if you don't know marketing, you could lose a lot of money, and that's what happened, right? In my first year, I turned over $16,000. I ended up finding myself in one of those wealth creation seminars. A guy by the name of Mal Emery, he, known as the Millionaire Maker, jumped up on stage and said, he walked on front of the stage and said, "Rightio folks, what I'm going to share with you right now is put more money in my bank account than anything I've ever done in my life." And I thought, right, whatever comes out of this guy's mouth, I'm just going to do it. And he said, it's the art of writing compelling words that motivate people to take action, better known as copywriting. I went, oh no, I hate writing, and I've only just started reading. But I've made the decision I'm going to do it. He introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Pete Godfrey, and I spent my last $500 learning copywriting from Pete, and my business kind of took off, right? And to the point where people were ringing me and said, "Brett, who's writing all your copy? Who's writing your sales pages and emails?" I said, "Well, it's me." And they said, "Well, can we pay you to write for us?" And I thought, well, I'm not earning any money, so yeah, why not, right? And cut a long story short, within 6 months I was Mal Emery's personal copywriter on a good six-figure income. And in that time, went in partnership with a good mate, Andy, and we bought the marketing rights for a product that everyone was struggling to sell for $498. And we didn't touch the product. I just looked at the copyright, the words and the marketing, and I gave it a bit of a makeover with the words. And we were able to sell that not for $498, we sold that for $1,498 and outsold everyone by 600%, right? Didn't touch the product, we just changed the words in the marketing, right? And we went from 0 to 125K turnover in 5 months. In the first year as copywriting, turned over $200,000, and it's went on and on. Over the next 7 years, I helped generate over $220 million worth of sales across dozens of different industries. Now, I'll tell you that to give you hope, because it's not only I know that's why I become passionate in teaching, and that's why Lanika and I, we kind of join forces. We blend marketing and mindset, because they're the kind of missing elements that can take a business to the whole new level. Now, unfortunately, success in business isn't relying on your knowledge or how deep you know your industry. You know, you have to have that marketing piece, right? So, and to the point, it's not just the success that I've generated for people, other people that I've taught. You know, just off the top of my head, a new friend of ours, Ruth, used our methods, and she tweaked what she was doing in her marketing and doubled her size of her database in kind of 48 hours. And then she did used that same principles to another element of her marketing and added another 1,000 people. She also quadrupled the attendees for her events, right? Because, so what I'm saying is, and another friend, a good friend of ours, Adam Gibson, you know, he had a seminar that wasn't really filling up, and he used my copywriting skills and just did a two-page letter, and that brought him over $500,000. So I tell you that to give you hope. There's so many stories out there. I've helped a business have come to me to help them create a business that was going to turn over $500,000 in 4 weeks, right? And they gave me the marketing plan. I turned it on its head and helped them, instead of making them $500,000 in 4 weeks, I made them $1.6 million in 2 weeks. I helped the business go from $3 million to $40 million in 18 months, all because of the copywriting skills that I want to share with you, right? Because there's a certain thing, I can teach you 101 things around copywriting. I want to show you the essential things that you need to know as a business owner without overwhelming you, but not only just teach you, we want to create an environment where you can get it done in the right amount of time. So it's kind of like with the Parkinson's law, law in place. We're going to give you the right amount of time and the right guidance. But not only that, you're not going to be staring at a blank screen. We're going to give you templates. We're going to give you shortcuts and frameworks where you can write emails that are necessary emails for your marketing funnel, landing pages and squeeze page sales copy. If this doesn't make sense to you, don't worry, it'll make sense later on. and also video scripts, all the essential things that we can help you have a modernized marketing system so you can keep on doing what you do and swim in the lane that you swim in, right? Because let me tell you, once you learn these skills, once you have these frameworks, which I'm going to give you at this workshop, it's a skill that'll pay you for life. It's worth repeating. This skill will pay you for life. It doesn't matter what life throws at you or what circumstances try and bowl you over in business. You'll have templates, systems and frameworks where you can kind of keep being prevalent in your marketing and penetrate the market and become more successful because you've been shown how to do it in a timely manner. Anyway, I've got more things to share with you in video number 3. Video number 3, I'm actually going to share with you, put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to give you some of these shortcuts and templates so you can have them just to prove that I'm the real deal. So make sure, if you want to be notified with that next video, make sure you leave your details below and so we can notify you. Some of you might have already done that, which is cool. Otherwise, if there's someone else that you think needs to hear this message, and if you want to share this, our philosophy and our vision, and get this message to as many talented, brilliant business owners out there who are struggling right now because they don't have that missing marketing piece, then share this video and let's unite and let's get this sorted out once and for all. So till the next video, bye for now.